Welcome in chat. Anybody watching this stream after the fact, welcome into the chat here. We are talking Thursday night football here, if you want to call it that. We have the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to give a quick preview of what we're dealing with. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. If you guys are in the chat when this thing is kicking off, drop some W's. Drop some W's. I'll pin your comment. I'll shout you guys out. Let's get it going. For the people that are already here, you guys are amazing people, so I'm going to prioritize your comments. Shout out to you, man. Thoughts on Marv? Man, I have a lot of thoughts. Guys, I'm going to get right into a game preview of what we're looking at, but my thoughts on Marvin Harrison Jr. is that maybe he's just a bust. How many weeks? We've been buying low on him for 20 weeks now. Is he just a bust? That's the question. This is a really tough Seahawks defense. They don't allow a lot of fantasy points to wide receivers. They get a good pressure rate on the quarterback. They make it tough. I think Marv should be the number one. He obviously is the number one on the team. I think he should be more startable than he really is. But again, he has to prove that to us. Welcome to everybody in the chat, man. Spam some W's. Yes, sir. Yo, bam. Shout out to you. W profile picture. Let's get this live stream going, man. I'm about to start answering everybody starts at questions. But before we do that, chat, make sure to drop a like on this stream. Let my boss know I'm doing a good job. I'm here for you guys answering your questions. In all seriousness, no. Thank you guys for spending time in this live stream. We are about to get this thing kicked off with a quick little preview of what we're about to witness, guys. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I love talking to you guys. You are elite human beings. We're going to start this off. Who do you guys think is going to win this game? Drop in the chat. Are we going Seahawks or are we going Arizona Cardinals? When you look at this game, the Cardinals are projected 23 points. The Seattle Seahawks are projected 21 points. It's a very close game total. Both of these offenses have their own issues. When we go ahead and jump into it, is Trey Benson playing? Yes. Is he going to do good tonight? Yes. Yes, he will. Everyone's saying Seahawks. Everyone in the chat saying Seahawks. Seahawks for the W. Seahawks for the W. Seahawks for sure. Seahawks for sure. Everybody, do we have Seahawks fans? Cards, seal it. Okay. We have one Cardinals believer in the chat. One Cardinals. Okay, we got another one. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. If you're just now hopping in, we're about to go over a quick preview of this fantasy game. So when we look at it from a fantasy perspective, the Cardinals are projected to win just barely. Let's look at the Cardinals side. You have Kyler Murray. This is a guy that I'm starting in one of my leagues. Am I super excited about it? Not a ton. He is not the highest rated quarterback. I'll go ahead and pull up these wide receiver rankings for all the people asking about Marvin Harrison. You guys can look through this while I'm yapping. But Kyler Murray is a tough matchup. The Seahawks don't allow a lot of points to really anybody. Their defense is very stout. Kyler Murray can be started. Again, the rushing upside is there, but he's just not taking that next level that we want him to be like a Josh Allen, to be a Jalen Hurts as far as rushing perspective goes. But you look at rushing perspective, guys, Trey Benson. I'll go ahead and pull up these running back rankings to see where Walter Picks has Trey Benson ranked, because I promise you it's high. And I definitely do agree with this, guys. I am on the boat of trading for Trey Benson, I guess high, as you would call it, while he is still unnamed, you would say. Because if you put his name next to a guy like Javonte Williams, people are saying, okay, Javonte Williams crushing this week. I know who he is. Who is Trey Benson? There is nobody else in this backfield that's going to get any touches. Last week, Amari DeMarcado had one opportunity, and he dropped the pass for an easy touchdown. When we were seeing Trey Benson get this work next to James Conner in the previous weeks when they were both healthy, he was still splitting snaps, guys. Trey Benson was actually running more routes than James Conner. I was a firm believer of sell high on James Conner while you can, because Trey Benson is coming, and now he's unfortunately injured out for the rest of the season. But there's nobody else, guys. Amari DeMarcado is not an efficient running back. He's not going to get any touches. Now, this is a very tough defense in the Seattle Seahawks. But if he's the only guy there, the books have him projected for 2.5 receptions today, minus 105 for a touchdown as well, and on top of all the rushing yards he's supposed to get. I have him projected up for 14, possibly 15, 16 if he scores a touchdown in fantasy points. He's a must start for me. We go into Marvin Harrison. This is the question that everybody's asking. What in the world do we do with Marvin Harrison? He's a flex guy at this point. Like 11-ish fantasy points is where I have him projected for. I believe Walter Picks has him projected for the same. I can go ahead and pull up these wide receiver rankings so you guys can scroll through it and watch. He's really the only wide receiver. Obviously, you're not starting Greg Dortch or Michael Wilson unless you're in super, super deep leagues. But Trey McBride is the wide receiver one, guys. He always has. He always will be. Trey McBride is the wide receiver one. He's going to get everything in this offense as far as the short check down stuff, and he's obviously been eating in that. We have seen Higgins get a little bit of usage at the tight end position too, but I'm not too worried about it. As far as Chad Ryland and the kickers go, he's not a guy we want to start. This game does not have a high enough game total to be a startable kicker. Guys, if you do want to go check your waiver wire real quick, Will Reichert is a guy that you need. He's only rostered in 14% of leagues. He's the Vikings kicker. Great matchup this week. Should be a ton of scoring potential. And Carson Wentz is the quarterback. So even if they don't score and they get close to the red zone and they kick a field goal, that's good for him. Spencer Schrader is also really good. I think people are starting to get hip to him now, though, because he's just been scoring 16 fantasy points a week. Joey Sly is a really good kicker as well. Those are the kickers that I'm loving to start this week, guys. If you don't have them, check them out on your waivers and pick them up now. Then the Arizona Cardinals defense, you're not really going to start either of these defenses here. The Seahawks are okay. I would go with the Seahawks over the Cardinals just from an internal perspective. Their defense is just better. But these aren't two defenses that I really want to be starting. And looking at the Seattle Seahawks side, Sam Darnold, man. I am not a Sam Darnold believer. He was kind of, sort of, high-key dust at the end of last year. He was. Do I go Marvin Renfro, James? I would definitely go Marvin Harrison on that. Guys, make sure to spam your start to questions. I'm answering as many as I can. I'm giving a quick preview of this game. We're almost through it, but keep spamming your questions, guys, and spam some W's in the chat for you. Shout out to everybody that made it to the stream. I absolutely love you. Chill. Marv or Chase Brown? That is a real question because Chase Brown, I'll go ahead and pull up these running back rankings here. Chase Brown has been tanking in value, and I completely understand it, and he should be. This guy is averaging 2 yards per carry on the year right now. The offensive line is doing him no favors. I believe he's the RB 62. I know for a fact he's outside the top 32 in yards created before contact because there's nowhere to go. There is absolutely nowhere to go. Now we have Jake Browning in at quarterback. It's just such a tough situation. You're going to have to hope that he gets some good pass catching. So if you're in a PPR league, I'll hope that Marvin Harrison does something this week because Chase Brown is just very, very low down my rankings. But somebody I do like, somebody just asked in the chat, J.K. Dobbins, guys. If you have J.K. Dobbins, you're starting J.K. Dobbins. Do I start T. Higgins or not? The question of the day. If you have the choice, I'm saying no. He takes the biggest hit from no Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase is a flex guy now. Like, that's what we're dealing with here. And everybody in the chat, man, make sure to hit that like button while you are here. Let my boss know I'm doing a great job. But I'm answering as many questions as you guys give me, in all honesty. And we're going through these fantasy football questions, guys. Thank you so much for spending your time with me in this live stream here. Are we going with, let's see here. We have Kenneth Walker with Charbonnet back. It depends who you're starting him over. I'm very, very worried for Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker just combined because their splits have been crazy. Like, Zach Charbonnet has been getting more usage in the ground game, but neither of them are really going to be an RB1. They're both a 50-50 backfield, essentially. I'm worried. I would really start guys. I would even start Quinshon Judkins over both of these guys. Do I go with Kyler Murray or Jared Goff? I would consider going Kyler Murray with this one. Jared Goff does get a really tough matchup. The offensive line is pretty good. Maybe they lean on the run game a little bit more. Do I go Omarion Hampton or Ladd McConkey? This is actually a great question. Sterling, I would definitely go Omarion Hampton. If we pull up the running back rankings here, guys, you can see Omarion Hampton is a top 10 running back this week. And I 100% believe and know this guy is going to crush in fantasy football this week. Guys, everybody in the chat, keep spamming your starts and questions. We are talking ball, going through everything. But Hampton gets an amazing matchup here. It really does not get much better than what he's dealing with here. So I love starting him. Ladd McConkey is, honestly, I've seen people sit him because Keenan Allen and Quinton Johnston, there we go, are getting so much usage. Are we starting Scat this week? Sam, we 100% are starting Cam Scatterby this week. He has been climbing up my rankings without Tyrone Tracy. He should be started every single week. This is the type of running back that we need in the NFL that will run through you. He's not going to bounce to the outside. He's putting his head down and crushing these guys, which is crazy because we're in the NFL and he's still being able to do this. But yes, with Jackson Dart in at quarterback for the Giants, he is still a guy. He is still a guy that we are starting. And honestly, he might even be better with more checkdowns with Jackson Dart in his first real start this year. And everybody in the chat, keep spamming your start sit questions. I'm answering as many as I possibly can. I really do appreciate you guys spending time in the live stream with me. Time is the most valuable thing that we have. Tyler Warren or Dalton Kincaid. I'm definitely going Tyler Warren. He didn't have that great of a week last week, but the game was a bit off script. Tyler Warren is a guy that you're starting. He's a top 5 tight end pretty much every single week. Nick Chubb or Brees? Johnny, my goodness. I too am also a Nick Chubb owner in fantasy football. If you're gonna start him, this is a really good matchup to do it, but you can't start him over Brees. Brees gets a pretty good matchup too against the Dolphins defense. I believe they're allowing 4.7 yards per carry to opposing running backs so far this year. It's positive. Even if we have Justin Fields back into this offense, if he's off of his concussion protocol, that's probably going to be better for him, honestly, because the rushing game is going to be that much more two-dimensional. And guys, shout out to everybody in the chat. If you're still in here, spam your start sit questions. I'm answering as many as I possibly can, running through them. Do I go Marv or Chris Godwin? I would honestly go Marvin Harrison. I think the risk tolerance for Chris Godwin in his very first game back is just something that I'm not willing to deal with. He's probably going to be on a snap count. Like there's almost a guarantee that he's not at a full number of snaps, even if Mike Evans is not playing in this game. So I would go Marvin Harrison just for the safety, which is crazy because Marvin Harrison really is not that safe. Do I go Tootin or Pacheco? I don't know where that question just went. I would go Pacheco, but like, yikes, man. Yikes. Both of them are very, very not good. This is a good question. I do like some more Thursday night football questions. Guys, if you have any questions, start sit wise, trade wise for Thursday night, make sure to spam them in the comments. I'm prioritizing those ones since it is a Thursday night stream, but I'm answering everybody's start sit questions, of course, as always. But I'm going Trey Benson in this one. I am fading Tony Pollard this week. The Titans are only projected to score 16 points this week as a team. That is the lowest projected total of the week. That is ugly. So ugly. And Cam Ward can only throw 168 passing yards a game is what he's averaging. So it's just not good at all. Do I go Trey Benson or Brees? Patrick, this is a tough question because this is where I start putting Trey Benson in this tier and like the range of running backs. I would honestly go with Trey Benson over Brees. That might be a bullish take. But again, this is the only running back in the backfield. He already runs routes. He gets receptions. He does everything he has to do. So if he can fall into the end zone here, it's going to be that much better. But I would go with him in this scenario here. Tootin or Pacheco? Yeah, this is one where I would go Pacheco. But Liam Cohen really is just wanting to get Tootin the ball a lot, which makes sense because he's the only guy in this backfield that the new coaching staff, the new regime came in and got themselves. So it makes sense. There's a reason they got rid of Tank Bigsby. Do I go Genty or Benson? This is a good question because I really do believe, guys, this is the get-right game for Ashton Genty. If you have him, this is what you've been waiting for. The Bears defense is allowing, I believe, 5 yards per carry to opposing running backs. It is a very, very positive matchup. If the offensive line can just hold a block, guys, this should be the game for Ashton Genty. But Trey Benson is just such a good start this week. You cannot ignore. I would take Trey Benson. Try to find a way to get them both in your lineup. Obviously, Ashton Genty does carry a good amount of risk, but they both do. It's pretty even for that. Let's see here, guys. Keep spamming your start sit questions. I'm answering as many as I possibly can. Do I go Trey Tucker or Khalil Shakir? This would be a decent Trey Tucker one here, but the fact that the Bills are projected, guys, take a guess. Everybody in the chat, drop how many points do you think the Bills are projected to score this week? Just let me know because I want to get a price check here. How many points do you guys think the Bills are projected to score against the Saints this week? Let me know. Let me know because that's going to define this question. Someone said 27, 30, 52, 52 points, 31. Okay. Somebody's checking the books. The Bills are projected to score 32.5 points. So with that being said, we are starting Khalil Shakir in the sheer opportunity that there's going to be a ton of offense. He's not going to come off the field unless it's a complete blowout by the third quarter, which is possible. But Khalil Shakir is a volume guy, a slot guy. We're going to start him in this matchup here. Do I trade Chase Brown for Judkins full PPR? This is a very big risk of a trade. I will be completely honest with you. I would rather take Quinshon Judkins banking on what we just witnessed, though. Because Quinshon Judkins got everything. There was only one touch that went to any running back last week against the Packers that was not him, and it was one carry for Dylan Sampson. So I'm buying and just taking this as high as I can go. Torrey Horton or Trey Tucker? I would probably go Trey Tucker here. The matchup is really positive against the Bears. They are allowing some of the most points to opposing wide receivers. It is Trey Tucker, though, so he's going to be boom or bust, but I would definitely take him over Torrey Horton because, yes, he's doing great, but he's also kind of being carried by the touchdowns. He is a guy that I like, though. Like, I'm stashing him it's just probably not the time to start Torrey Horton, especially when the Seahawks are only projected 21 points this week. Do I go Thomas Jr. or Tucker? I would definitely go with Brian Thomas Jr. here. Johnny, shout out to you. I think I've landed on your comment 2 times, 2 different comments. Shout out to you, man. I'm trying to answer as many as I possibly can, guys. If you are in the stream, please do me a favor, double tap the screen, hit that like button on the video. It helps me out so much. It also lets the boss man know that I'm doing a good job on this live stream and I'm answering your questions. But anyways, all seriousness, keep asking your start to questions, guys. I'm answering as many as I can. Kyler or Daniels? Daniels is not. I really don't think he's gonna play. So I would just take the safety and go Kyler here. Are we going with London or Quentin Johnson? Marty, the fact that we're asking ourselves this question is absolutely insane. This shouldn't be a question, but it really is. Like, it actually is. I will go with Drake London this week. I will go with Drake London this week. Now, Drake London has not shown us that he needs to be started. But Drake London is the wide receiver 50 right now. And one of these games, he is going to pop off. And I don't want that to be the game that he's sitting on my bench. So Drake London is going to be my answer for that question. Devonta Smith or Debo? Man, I would go with Debo Samuel. We're probably not going to have Terry McLaurin this week. And if that's the case, it's Debo. I believe Noah Brown is injured too. So it's Debo, Luke McCaffrey, Jalen Lane. Come on. We're going Debo and hoping for the best here. Do I go Kyron or Javonte Williams? The question literally we have so many people in here, just disappeared. But I would go with Kyron Williams on that one. Do I go Benson or Hampton? This is a really good question. I'll pull up these running back rankings here. I would go Hampton. I love both of these guys. Try to get them both in your starting lineup if you can. But Amarian Hampton, man, gets possibly the number 1 best matchup of the week against the Giants' run defense. They have been so bad. They have been so bad in fantasy points allowed to the running back. So that is a guy that I'm absolutely loving. And guys, we are quickly approaching Thursday night football with the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. I'm absolutely loving it, bro. I'm a football fan. 100% of my brain capacity is filled with fantasy football knowledge. If you guys don't know me, my name is Avery. I'm also on the Commanders Walter Picks and run the main Walter Picks page as well on all the social media channels. So shout out to anybody that is hip and watches those videos as well. But guys, be subscribed to this YouTube channel if you're not already, because we post waiver wire videos, start sit videos, everything, and these live streams 2 or 3 times a week. So make sure you're subscribed, because we're sitting in here answering your start sit questions every single time. And I really do appreciate you guys spending time in this live stream, because that is the most valuable thing that we do have. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Are we going with Walker, Benson, or Hill? I would definitely go with Trey Benson here. Hill is going to get matched up against Sauce Gardner, and that is a nightmare in its own, and he's already boomer bust. And Trey Benson he's the RB1. It's a tough matchup against the Seattle Seahawks. So there is a very real chance that he has to rely on his receiving. But Trey Benson is the wide receiver 1. I mean, running back 1. The wide receiver 1 is not Marvin Harrison. It's not. It's Trey McBride. It's Trey McBride. But speaking of that, are we going Marv or Trey Tucker? Patrick, I will go Marv, man. I will go Marv. Again, it's not the best matchup of all time, but we can't trust Trey Tucker. 3 touchdowns is not going to happen every week. It was a great matchup last week. It's a decent one again now. But if you were to tell me that he would put up 20 points, 15 even again, I would be very surprised. I think the risk just outweighs the reward there. Are we going T. Higgins or Xavier Worthy? This is a really good question. I would lean Xavier Worthy. Now, season long, I'm really not a believer in Xavier Worthy right now. But that's because Rashee Rice is coming back, and he's clearly wide receiver 1. He was the wide receiver 1 in his 2.5 healthy games last year. He averaged 21.6 fantasy points a game. But it looks like Xavier Worthy's fully healthy. He was a full participant in practice. He should be good to go. And in this matchup against the Ravens, you're targeting him. You're a smash starting him. The Ravens are allowing so many points to opposing wide receivers. It's insane. I believe their defense in total, they're allowing 30 points scored per game to opposing teams. Like, it's absolutely insane. Are we going Walker? I already answered this one. We're going Benson on that one. Are we going Debo or Metcalf? Jay, this is a good question. I would honestly be going with Debo. Metcalf might be the popular answer here, but I am extremely fading all of these Steelers receivers. And even I'm really fading Aaron Rodgers in all seriousness. And that is in turn making me fade these receivers because the Vikings defense is so good. The Vikings defense gets amazing pressure rate on the quarterback. They don't allow a lot of fantasy points to wide receivers. I believe it's going to be a check down game for Jalen Warren. So I'm definitely starting Jalen Warren. And guys, make sure you keep spamming your start sit questions. I'm answering as many as I possibly can. And we are in this live stream going absolutely crazy, talking ball. Such a fun time with everybody in the chat. Are we going Cup or Darnell Mooney, man? I really do not trust Cooper Kupp, especially now that Torrey Horton is working in with the same number of snaps as he is. There's a high-ish ceiling, I guess you could say, but the worry is a lot more of a worry, I guess, for me. Let's see. Are we going May or Prescott? I would definitely be going with Drake May. Both of them don't have amazing matchups, but Drake May has a rushing upside, and if Dak Prescott doesn't throw 2 touchdowns, he gives you 11 fantasy points. Do I go Judkins or Benson? This is a great question. Shout out to you for asking a Thursday Night Football question with Trey Benson about to start. I would go with Trey Benson over Judkins. Judkins looked absolutely amazing, but the thing is, Trey Benson looks amazing-er. Like, this guy is the RB1. He's running all the routes out of the backfield. Amari DeMarcado is the only other option we have here for him, and that is not an option. He dropped a wide open touchdown last week. Let's see here. Kyler Murray or Brock Purdy? This is actually a really good one. They both get like middle of the pack matchups. Brock Purdy in his first start coming back is like a little bit worrisome for me. But the Jaguars matchup is really, really good. So my number one suggestion for you there, since that is such a close one, put it in the Walter Picks app. This is the start sit tool that I have on screen right here. If you want to try it out for yourself, you can. Just put that question in Walter Picks. It'll show you the boom and bust potential of the player and the ceiling and floor. And even if you scroll down a little bit from the screenshot that I have here, it'll show you how many points the defense allows. So if you haven't tried it yet, try out the Walter Picks app and let me know what they say. Come back to the chat and let me know. Do I start Javonte Williams or Tet at my flex? See, my answer was Tet. And now he popped up with a calf injury. So my answer to that would be monitor the calf injury for Tet until tip-off and see if any of the reports are saying that he's going to be restricted, because it's possible that he is. And if he is, I'm fading Tet. But I think we also need to look at if Christian Gonzalez is playing too. Like, really the start-sit decision for Tet comes down to those two things, because Christian Gonzalez is coming off his injury and is questionable this week. So if he plays, I'm probably going to sit Tet. And also if he's dealing with an injury there too. But I'm not like super high on Javonte Williams either. Thursday Night Football questions. Shout out to you, Kyle. If you guys have Thursday Night Football questions, let me know. Just comment Thursday Night Football, comment your question. I'm going to prioritize those when I see them. Are we flexing Marv, Jerry Jeudy, or Hunter Henry? For the upside perspective, I would be starting Marvin Harrison Jr. Jerry Jeudy has like been in the position to be fantasy viable. The Browns are passing a good amount. He just has not done it. Hunter Henry is looking great, but I definitely don't like starting tight ends in my flex spot. He always has these games every year where he just puts up like 10 receptions and 20 fantasy points. Not saying that it's always going to be repeatable, but if you got Hunter Henry, like definitely a good job picking him up off the waiver wire. And guys, if you don't know, I drop a waiver wire video on this channel every single week. So if you want to keep seeing my face and know who to add off the waiver wire, make sure to be subscribed for that video if you're not already. We also post start sit videos, trade videos, all that good stuff, and go live on here 3 times a week as well. Everything for you guys. So yeah, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're not already, and I'm answering all of your questions in my appreciation for that. Are we going Tet, Zay, or Myers? I'm actually fading Zay a lot. Nice profile picture, by the way. But I'm fading Tet. I'm fading Zay. Jeez. I'm fading Zay. The Chiefs defense is really good. I expect the Ravens, this entire game is just going to be at a slower pace. We saw the volatility of Zay Flowers last week. I don't expect it to be a big pass volume game where he gets a lot of usage. Now, for Tet and Myers, I would lean Tet. But again, there's 2 things you got to be aware of. Check Christian Gonzalez's situation. If he's going to play and Tet is restricted with his calf injury, you're going Jacoby Myers. But if both of those things are not true, I would go Tet. It's a bit of like a sticky one here because there's like a lot of things that go into it. Another Thursday Night Football question. Guys, if you have Thursday Night Football questions, spam them in the chat. I'm answering as many as I can. I'm prioritizing those as well. And make sure, guys, you do like the stream while you're hopping in here. It lets my boss know I'm doing a good job. But more importantly, I just appreciate you guys hanging out in this live stream. It absolutely makes me happy. Do I trade Egbuka and Jordan Mason for Justin Jefferson or Jason and Chris Rodriguez? I don't think Chris Rodriguez is enough of a return. Because Jordan Mason, he's going to be a top guy until Aaron Jones come back. I would negotiate for more than Chris Rodriguez because he's essentially a wash. Like, you could get better guys on the waivers, I'm assuming. And Ibuka is good. Jordan Mason is like top 10 every single week until Jones comes back. So definitely negotiate for more there. Do I go Darnold or Geno? I would actually lean Geno this week. He is the definition of a like waiver wire plug and play quarterback. He's getting a great matchup against the Bears defense. They've been allowing so many points to opposing wide receivers, tight ends, yards to quarterbacks, literally everything. So I would go Geno there. And I really don't trust Sam Darnold. I trust him enough to support JSN, but nothing else after that. Let's see. Are we going Brees, Rome Odunze, or Ladd? I would honestly go Rome Odunze. I'll go Rome Odunze. Caleb Williams has looked really good. All honesty, he has looked really good. I'm just going to ride this high with Odunze as long as I can. Guys, if you are in this stream, though, make sure to hit that like button. It's free. It takes 2 seconds. It helps me in this channel out a ton as a creator. But it also helps me answer your start sit questions as well because it pops up with that notification too. Sutton or McLaurin? I don't think McLaurin is going to play. He is restricted right now. There's a very real chance that he doesn't. Even if he does, it's a great matchup for Cortland Sutton. It's a get-right game, really, for Bo Nix, too, against the Bengals defense. We know this defense is bad. We know that they're allowing some of the most points to opposing wide receivers, quarterbacks, and everybody. So Cortland Sutton should be a smash start here. If I replay this this screen recording here, you can see and watch for where your wide receivers are ranked in the Walter Picks app. Guys, if you haven't tried out the Walter Picks app, definitely check it out. You can look at all of the rest of season rankings, the weekly rankings for the start sits, which I have on screen, and you can compare all of your players there as well. Thursday Night Football, do I flex Marvin Harrison Jr., Shakir, or Diggs? Man, I would lean Marv there for the hope of the upside. I do like Shakir just because this game total is projected to be very high. 32 points for the Bills. That's the highest of the week. But I just think I guess you would call it ceiling of Marvin Harrison is just that much higher. But by no means am I like all in on Marv this week to have like a touchdown, 100 yards, and everything here. Are we going Pickens, Genty, or Javante? I got tricked. I really do believe that it could be a Genty game. I'm probably going to take the risk, especially if you're in a non-PPR league. I'm taking the risk for Ashton Genty because it's a very positive matchup. As long as the offensive line can hold up, which who knows if it will. I'm going with that. I'm going to start reading these these questions so I don't get finessed. I don't get fleeced. Do I start Benson, Brees, Scat, or Ladd? I would honestly go Trey Benson. Call me crazy. I'm putting a lot of stock into Trey Benson to perform this week. It is a tougher matchup, so be aware of that. But Trey Benson is literally the only running back that's going to get touches in this backfield. He's going to run every single route. He is going to take every single touch. If they ever get in the red zone, he's going to score the touchdown. Like, he was already giving James Conner a run for his money with that before. So now it's just going to be that much better of a situation for him. And guys, while you're in here, keep spamming your start sit questions. I'm answering as many as I can, but make sure to hit that like button as well. There's a higher chance of me seeing your start sit question just because the notification pops up in the chat so I can try to recognize your name. Do I go Worthy or Dobbins? I would go J.K. Dobbins, man. I actually do like both these guys a lot, but the risk with Worthy is just way, way higher than J.K. Dobbins against a really soft Cincinnati Bengals defense. We know this offense can't score either, so it's going to be a really good opportunity for J.K. Dobbins to just get a ton of rushing upside as well. Shout out to the water, man. That is absolutely necessary in these live streams. Oh, man, that is absolutely necessary. Do I go Chase Brown, Tyler Warren, or Quentin Johnston? Man, I would go Chase Brown out of all of those guys. Just hope that he gets some receptions because that's really what's going to save you here. That is really what's going to save you guys. I absolutely, just so you guys know, I love hopping on these live streams. Keep spamming your start sit questions, man. This is what I live for. 100% of my brain capacity is filled with fantasy football. Are we going Walker or Dobbins? I would definitely go J.K. Dobbins, Angel, on this one. J.K. Dobbins gets a great matchup here. We have the running back rankings on screen. I'll run through it one more time so you can look for your players. J.K. Dobbins, oh my goodness, bro. J.K. Dobbins gets a great matchup, first of all, against the Cincinnati Bengals, who are allowing a ton of points to running backs. But also, the Broncos are going to mop the floor with the Bengals, bro. The Bengals offense has not been great. And it's even worse now with Jake Browning. So it's going to be a blowout potential game, which means more usage for J.K. Dobbins. I absolutely love that. Are we going Benson or Jalen Warren? This Oh, this is a really close one for me. I'm not gonna lie. David, I think I would lean Jalen Warren here just because this matchup for the Steelers, like it's going to be a check down funnel essentially. I'm fading Aaron Rodgers. I'm fading all of these wide receivers for the Steelers because the matchup against the Vikings is just really good. So I fully expect Aaron Rodgers to have to lean on the check down that much more. But then again, Trey Benson is just such a good running back. I suggest putting it in the Walter Picks app and just seeing what they say and come back and let me know. But as you can see on screen here, you can put your start sit question in the Walter Picks app, and it'll tell you the ceiling and floor of your player, so you know exactly what to expect. I would definitely suggest go checking that out. Anybody in the chat can do that as well. Just download the app. You can also use my code Avery in the app if you haven't downloaded it already, and you can also get a free trial with it. Chase Brown, Benson, Cam, or Hubbard. That's a lot of running backs you have to choose between. I would go Benson over all of them. I really would. I'll go Trey Benson over all those guys. I'll pull up the running back rankings here again so you guys can see it. With Breeze at running back, do I go Trey Tucker or Nick Chubb? Man. Nick Chubb or Trey Tucker. I guess I would go Nick Chubb. It's a really positive matchup for him. Hopefully Woody Marks doesn't take too much. But Trey Tucker is really convincing. I'm not going to lie. Because if it wasn't a good matchup for him too, I would be going with Nick Chubb because of his matchup. But they both get really good ones. This is a situation where I suggest just putting it in the Walter Picks app and checking real quick. Again, you can look at the start sit comparison. It'll show you the ceiling and floor for all of these guys. Guys, I just got a notification that said Terry McLaurin won't need surgery. I didn't even know his injury was that serious to want to have surgery. I am a Commanders fan. That kind of hurts. I guess Terry McLaurin is going to be out for a few weeks. Shout out Debo Samuel in the chat, I guess. Let's see here. Thursday Night Football, we're going Walker Irving. I'll definitely be going Irving here, Angel. Yo, shout out to you, Angel. I keep landing on your question. Shout out to you. I'm answering all of them for you. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already, guys, because I'm trying my absolute best answering all these start sit questions for you, and I just enjoy it, man. I love ball. But I'm definitely going with Bucky Irving pretty easily on this one. Are we going Walker, Egbuka, or Judkins? Pick 2. Man, I would probably sit Walker just because there is such a high range of outcomes with him. You can see on screen right here. You can see Walter Picks' projections for Kenneth Walker. He has a 35% chance to underperform. That is like very worrisome. There's a chance that he does great. Maybe he gets a touchdown. But like with him splitting with Zach Charbonnet, I would just lean a bit more of a safe floor there. Let's see here. Pickens or Montgomery of the flex. Man, my answer would usually be George Pickens, or it would usually be Montgomery. I don't know why I was blanking there. But the matchup is so tough, guys. The Browns, take a guess, chat, on how many yards per carry the Browns defense is allowing to running backs. Take a guess. I'm about to tell you, but I just want to see what you guys say. Please take a guess. How many yards per carry are the Browns allowing to running backs this year? I guess in 3 games so far. How many yards per carry? 5? Zach says 5. 5 yards per carry. Guys, the Browns have the #1 defense in the NFL. Oh my goodness, you guys are elite fantasy ball knowers. Shout out to all you guys. They're allowing 2. The Browns are allowing 2 yards per carry to opposing running backs, guys. That is atrocious. They're allowing under 10 fantasy football points to running backs this year. Because of that, I'm really worried about David Montgomery. Now, the Lions' offensive line is a different breed, and their offense is pretty good, so there's a chance he scores a touchdown. But, like, they've held Josh Jacobs to no rushing yards. He got saved by overtime and a bunch of receptions. David Montgomery's not getting all those receptions. So it's really a tough one here. Do I flex McMillan or Egbuka? I have a long explanation for this. Guys, if you are in the stream, please make sure to spam your start sit questions. And while you're doing that, hit the like button. It takes 2 seconds. It's free to you. It helps me so much as a creator on this account, and also lets my boss know I'm doing a good job in these live streams. Shout out to you guys for doing that. But in all seriousness, though, I would go with Tet McMillan. Just be aware. Number 1, if we have Christian Gonzalez playing this week, he's questionable. He hasn't been ruled in or out yet. That is drastically going to change his upside. And Ted McMillan is dealing with a calf injury. If he's restricted in any way, if the reports say he's restricted, which again, I will keep you guys up to date on. It's gonna be hard on YouTube though because I'm not gonna be live for Sunday. Sam will be live for Sunday. If you guys want to hop in, make sure to come on the Sunday morning live with Sam, the CEO of Walter Picks. He will be here, so make sure to be subscribed for that if you're not already. I will go Tet if both of those things are true. If his injury is fully clear and there's no Christian Gonzalez, I will go Tet. Let's see. Do I go Pearsall, Pickens, or Myers? That is a really close one. I would go Pearsall. It's a very positive matchup against the Jaguars. We know this to be a fact. I do like Pickens this week, though, again, in a matchup against the Packers where they're just going to have to pass. Like, the run game is going to be a little bit tough, but I would be going with Ricky Pearsall in that one. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Keep spamming your start sit questions. Do I go Zay Flowers or Tyreek Hill? Angel, how do you keep doing this? How do you keep doing this? I don't understand. It has to be your emojis or something because we have everybody spamming emojis and questions in here, but for some reason, yours is the one that I land on every single time. So shout out to Angel in the chat. But like I really am fading Zay Flowers right now because of the matchup. The Chiefs, it's gonna be a very low pace of play situation for him this week. It's so close though because Tyreek Hill is gonna be on Sauce Gardner, or I guess Sauce Gardner is gonna be on Tyreek Hill, and it's just gonna be such low upside for both of them. I guess that's so close, bro. I would lean Zay very, very ever slightly though. Like that is really ugly. I definitely suggest putting that in the Walter Picks app though, if you haven't already, because you can just compare those two players as I'm showing you on screen. It'll show you the boom and bust potential of your players, so you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. I would assume Tyreek has a higher percentage chance of like not performing. Thursday night football question: do I go Cup, Downs, or Ridley? My goodness. I would not lean Downs in this matchup, and Calvin Ridley again does not get a good one. Like Derek Stingley and the Texans are really good, so I guess that leaves Cooper Kupp. But I'm not too confident about starting Cooper Kupp either. I would just hope Cooper Kupp can actually do something. Again, put it in the Walter Picks app, see what their trade or their start sit tool says, because that's going to be the best way to get that answered with statistical data behind it. We have a full-time team, guys, of like developers and insiders that update these rankings every day. So it's definitely sharp. I'd probably lean Cup, but he has the lowest floor, like guaranteed, out of all those guys. But he has higher potential, I guess. Brees Hall or Cam Scatterbo. This is a really close one. Both of these running backs are tight in my rankings. Brees Hall is going to give you the higher upside because Cam Scatterbo does get a really tough matchup here against the Chargers. I would lean with Brees, but I do like Cam this week again. He is the the running back one. He is going to get everything without Tyrone Tracy in this offense. Do I trade David Montgomery for Trey Benson? I would. I 100% would. Trey Benson is RB1, and he will be for the rest of the year. We don't have James Conner, so they're going to have to rely on him. They're not going to rely on Amari DeMarcado. No, it's just not going to happen. So yeah, I would definitely do that deal. Angel, is this another Angel in the chat, or is this just an Angel that changed their name from the last one? Do we still have both the Angels in the chat? I feel like I'm getting finesse. How is this happening? Every single Angel I see. No, because we have another one right here. This is the other Angel. How many Angels are in this chat? Walter Picks said Zay. There you go. I think that's what I said too. So shout out to Walter Picks. Let's see here. Let's keep answering your start sit questions, guys. That was really funny. Shout out to however many Angels we have in the chat. I don't even know. Hunter Henry or Dalton Kincaid. Guys, maybe this is the method. Everybody just spamming these emojis at the end of their question for some reason catches my eye. So shout out to you guys. That's the Angel method. They created it. Hunter Henry or Kincaid, though. Man, usually my answer is always going to be Hunter Henry here. But the game total for the Bills is just something I don't want to ignore. Like, the Bills are projected 32.5 points this week. You have to hope that he gets some kind of usage. You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be some way. He's got to get something. So I would just, from a pure upside perspective, I would go with Dalton Kincaid. Benson or Bill? Where'd that question just go? I would definitely go Trey Benson. There we go. Jet, I would definitely go Trey Benson on that. Bill is like, he just hasn't been startable yet, in all honesty. I think there's potential for sure. Let's see here. Do I go? It's so funny. I'm seeing everybody spam emojis in the chat now. Bro, I'm telling you it works for some reason. Like, it just catches my eye. I guess it's, like, interesting. Maybe I have TikTok brain and I just like the pictures. Trevion Henderson or Chris Godwin? David, that's so close, man. Because I would just like monitor what Chris Godwin's involvement is actually going to be. He was a full participant in practice. My answer is probably going to be him because he has a higher floor just with the receiving upside in general. But Ramondre Stevenson and Antonio Gibson did kind of fumble their way out of a starting job. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is. Walter Pick said Zay. Shout out to you. Yeah, guys, if you want to double check all of your start sit questions you're asking in the chat, just throw it in the Walter Picks app. I have the start sit tool up on screen here. You can just throw your question in there. It'll tell you who has the higher ceiling and floor. If you haven't downloaded the app yet, you can put code Avery in there, and it'll give you a free trial to the subscription side as well, so you can sync your leagues, do all that good stuff. But definitely check it out in the Walter Picks app. It is the number one way to get your question answered the fastest and the best as well. Yeah, I'll go Godwin there. Do I go Juwan Johnson or Tyler Warren? I would go Juwan Johnson simply because the Bills, again, I'm like harping on this matchup. The Bills are projected to score 32.5 points against the Saints. They're going to be playing catch up all game. So you have to assume like they're barely going to run the ball. They can't. There's no way. So Juwan Johnson should have a really, really high upside because of that. But guys, everybody in the chat, man, it is 8:01 Eastern time, at least for me. I don't know what time zone you guys are in, but this game is starting so very soon, guys. Thank you guys so much for hopping in this live stream and asking your questions. I'm not stopping till a couple minutes after the game. We're going to be answering these questions through the game and then getting a couple straggler questions or just talking, chatting in the chat. So make sure you spam your starts and questions, guys. If you like the stream, the notification comes up and I will try to recognize your name. So please drop a like on the stream. It also pushes it out to more people, but I'm going to try to remember seeing the people that like the stream's names notification pop up so I can prioritize your comments. Let's see here. Are we going Worthy or McMillan? I don't know where that question just went because there's so many people in here. There it is. The thing with Ted McMillan, I do like starting Ted McMillan a lot this week. Number one, monitor the situation with Christian Gonzalez. If he's gonna be out, Ted's a start. Ted is also dealing with a calf injury. If he's fully ready to go, no restrictions, it's gonna be Ted too. If both of those things are true, we're starting Ted. Otherwise, I would probably lean Xavier Worthy because it is a really good matchup against the Bengals. The defense allows a lot of points, so you really can't go wrong either way. Do I flex Marv or Coleman? Yeah, my answer is going to be Marv. I know Keon Coleman, like from what I've been saying, the Bills are averaging, or not averaging, they're about to score, projected to score 32.5 points. But even when they do that so far this year, there's no guarantee that Keon Coleman like does well. So I would just take the safety. Debo or Keenan Allen PPR? I'd go Keenan Allen, but I really do like starting Debo this week because we're not going to have Terry McLaurin this week. So both are really, really positive matchups here. Do I start Brian Thomas Jr. or Debo? Man, Brian Thomas Jr., man, where have you been, bro? He's been getting the receptions. He just cannot catch the ball. Like, what's going on? It's a pretty tough matchup against the 49ers defense. I would probably lean Debo here because we're not going to have Terry McLaurin, and Debo's actually been doing really good. But watch this be the one Brian Thomas Jr. game. Like, he has not done anything all year. Maybe now is when he does that. Thursday Night Football, do I go Harrison or Montgomery at the flex? I would go Marvin Harrison here, Nicole, on this one. Montgomery, like, he's going to rely on a touchdown, and he gets a matchup against the Browns, who are the number one toughest defense to run on. They're allowing only 2 yards per carry. That's terrible, by the way, for people that don't know. 2 yards per carry is atrocious. Now, the Lions' offensive line is amazing. The team is good, so there's an opportunity that they just disprove that. But again, like, their defense is good for a reason. I'm very worried if he doesn't score a touchdown, he's going to be a bit worrisome and not a hot start. So that would be my answer there. But thank you for asking your question, guys. If you are still in the chat, keep spamming your questions. We got about 10 minutes till this game starts. If you like the chat, I see that notification as well. I'll try to remember your name. So then when you comment your start say questions, I can prioritize the people that like the stream. Thursday night question here. Do we go with Jordan Addison or Marvin Harrison? Jordan Addison, man, is such a tough case because is Carson Wentz really going to be able to support him, TJ Hawkinson, and Justin Jefferson? I don't really think so. I think the upside to risk ratio is not there, and the Vikings defense is better against the pass than they are the run, but they're just such a slow pace of play team that it's like I don't see the upside outpacing the downside that you get there. Waddle or Trey Tucker, man. I would go Waddle. I will go Waddle, man. I'm not fully trusting Trey Tucker yet. I know he had a 40-point game. He does this every year, though. Like, if you look back at Trey Tucker's game logs, he has a good game every year, and it's just hard to trust. Now, he does get a really good matchup here against the Bears defense. We cannot ignore that. They allow so many points to wide receivers. So maybe it is Trey Tucker, but I think Jalen Waddle in this matchup has a bit more of a floor than he does. If you want to check it out, though, I would suggest putting it in the Walter Picks app and just seeing what they say. They show you the ceiling and the floor of all the players you compare, so you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. And again, just try it out. Let me know. Come back in the chat. Let me know what it says. We can debate it. But yeah, if you use my code Avery, if you haven't had the app yet, you can try it for free with a trial that lets you get the subscription feature. They can link all of your leagues and all that good stuff as well. So definitely try that out for anybody in the chat that hasn't, because we are 10 minutes away from tip off. That's the fastest way to get your start sit question answered. Just try out Walter Picks. If you use my code Avery, you can also do that 10 times more efficiently. Let's see here. Let's keep answering some more questions. Pittman or Juwan Jennings? I would lean Michael Pittman. Juwan Jennings gets a really good matchup against the Jaguars. I will pull up the wide receiver rankings so you can check. Everybody else in the chat, you can check where your wide receivers are ranked here as well. I would probably go Pittman in this matchup. It is definitely positive for, I mean, it's kind of a tough matchup, but like he's the only wide receiver really that's getting usage here. Do I trade Tyreek for Scatterbo and Worthy? 1 billion%. 1 billion%. If you can trade Tyreek for Scatterbo and Worthy, hit the accept button on that trade as soon as you possibly can, Jim. Please do that. I feel like I'm reading it wrong. Tyreek for Scat. Yeah. Take Scat and Worthy. I would take Worthy over Tyreek just by itself. And you get Scat on top of that, 100%. Shout out Jim for asking that question, because that, like, you're about to create a super team now. Trey Benson or Chase Brown? Tommy, this is a good question. I'll pull up my wide receiver rankings, or sorry, running back rankings, so you can see. It's Trey Benson, man. Look at this. Look how high Trey Benson is ranked. RB17. I'm going with Trey Benson over Chase Brown. Trey Benson over Chase Brown all day, every day. I really do like Omarion Hampton too, guys. If you have him in your league, like I have him projected to go crazy. Like, this is going to be probably his best game, even though last week was already really good too. Dagger. I'm back, chat. I would definitely go Williams, though. I would definitely go Williams, though, chat. I would definitely go Caleb Williams on that. Caleb Williams has been absolutely crushing right now in fantasy football, so we need to be taking advantage of that while we can. And Dak Prescott, like, if he doesn't get 2 touchdowns, he's kind of cooked. He's kind of cooked. Let's see. Bench 1, Judkins, BTJ, Pickens, or Walker. That's tough, John. That's really tough. I would lean sitting Walker just because of like the risk that there is. There's a very real chance that it's just completely split and he doesn't score a touchdown, and then it's tough. But Brian Thomas Jr. has not been doing much better. It's between those two for me. I would lean Walker, but again, right before this game starts, just throw that question into the Walter Picks app and see what it says. It'll show you the potential upside and downside for all of your players, so you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. Let's see. Do I go? I've never seen that emoji before. That's pretty cool. Do I go Kamara, Judkins, Chase Brown, pick 2? I might lean sitting Kamara. Is like Kamara should have a really good game, so maybe the answer is Chase Brown. But like, if they're gonna be down by 10 points, like the Bills are projected to score 32.5. If they're gonna be down by that much and Alvin Kamara can't catch passes, what's the upside? Like last week, he got 2 targets in a game that they were getting blown out in. So the downside is definitely there. I would say Chase Brown has an equal downside though, so maybe the answer is sitting Chase Brown. Wandale or Mooney at the flag. I would definitely go Mooney there. I don't know why, chat. I don't know why this chat is bugging right now, but it is. But shout out to the rest of the people in this live stream if you're not. Um, finish with your starts to questions because we still got some things to cover, guys. Shout out to everybody in the stream, man. If you're still here, hit that like button. Hit that like button because this is hot right now. We have 5 minutes until this game starts. So hit the like button. Your like notification pops up in the chat. So I know, and I'll try to remember your name so I can answer your start to questions and prioritize the people that like the stream. Debo or Kamara? I would probably lean Kamara there and just hope for the receiving upside. But Debo actually looks pretty decent. Drake May or Daniel Jones? Man, the fact that Daniel Jones is just looking this good, I would go with Drake May because Daniel Jones does get a really tough matchup against the Rams defense. It's not like a matchup has really stopped him yet, though. But I think they have pretty even upside. Sorry, I just did that into the mic. My fault, chat. Let's see. Keep or trade away Ashton Genty. If you're gonna trade away Ashton Genty, chat, do it after this week. Because this week, like, if it's not now, it's never. Like, this, I fully believe, is going to be Ashton Genty's get right game against the Bears defense. Their defense is not good. They're allowing a ton of points to opposing teams. The offensive line is really the issue for Genty. So if they can't put it together now, it's never gonna happen. So hold Ashton Genty is my answer to you. See what he does this week. And if it's like still a him issue, then it's a him issue, man. Then it's a him issue. Thoughts on Trey Benson? I love Trey Benson. I'm starting Trey Benson in almost every single league that I have. Why are we doing this, chat? Why is it doing this? Let's see here, chat. Keep answering your starts to questions. We are in crunch time. There was 3 minutes until this game. Let's see here. Another starts a question from the chat. Diggs or Godwin or Jennings at the flex? I'm leaning with Jennings here at number 1, but keep Godwin's status in mind. He was a full participant in practice. If he is fully good to go, there's no restrictions, I'm going with Chris Godwin. But outside of that, Juwan Jennings, my answer there. He's also dealing with an injury himself. So just monitor those two things. Hubbard or Benson? Matthew, shout out to you, man. I remember you in the last stream. I remember you in the last Thursday night stream. So shout out Matthew in the chat. W Matthews in the chat. I will go with Benson. Benson is a top running back for me this week, like all things considered. He's the only running back. Like Mario DeMarcado is not going to get anything in this offense. It is a tough matchup, though, against the Seattle Seahawks. So 100% be aware of that. But Trey Benson is my answer. He runs a lot of routes in this backfield, so he's going to get upside in the receiving game too, on top of a potential touchdown that he could score. Benson or Genty, I don't know who to start. I would go Benson over Genty, but like I really do believe in the Genty breakout game this week. Like if it's gonna ever happen, it's gonna be now. Let's see here. Cup or Pickens, let me know. I would definitely go Pickens. I would definitely go Pickens on this one, Edwin. 100%. Without CeeDee Lamb, like it's a really tough matchup against the Packers defense. So go ahead and pull up the wide receiver rankings here so you can see them. But I would go with him for sure. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We are a minute away from this game, guys. This was a completely successful live stream. I absolutely love having you guys in this live and doing it every single Thursday. If we can just create like a nice little cadence here, everybody hops in the chat every Thursday. We ask questions, talk ball, and have a good time. Life is going to be that much better. So shout out to everybody in the chat if you've made it here. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. I probably should not have pinned that. So I traded Hollywood Brown and Chase Brown for Jameson Williams and Amarion Hampton. Well, Amarion Hampton solos Chase Brown very, very easily. And then Jameson Williams, I would say, has more season-long upside than Hollywood Brown. So, yeah, definitely. Definitely, I would do that. Pretty easily, I would do that. Should I trade away Travis Etienne? I would look for it. I would see some options. Like, Justin, they keep trying to get involved. Bashal Tootin, which makes sense. Why would you not? But, like, he has some very, very tough matchups coming up this week and the next weeks and the weeks after that. So, like, I would look to trade Travis Etienne this year. Do I trade Chuba and Quentin Johnson for Henry and half PPR? Oh man, I probably wouldn't. It depends how deep your league is, though. Like if you're in a 6-team league, you always want to be getting the best player. So yeah, I would be doing that. But otherwise, no. My number one suggestion is to try the Walter Picks app, guys, because you can literally put your start sit questions, your trade questions in the app, and it'll tell you who wins the deal. So you know exactly what you're getting yourself into, and it takes into account all of your league settings. But guys, that is my time. It is 8:15. This game is about to start. Shout out to everybody hopping out in this chat. If you're still one of the 61 people in here at the wee hours of the chat, spam your questions. We're going to answer one or two, three, possibly four or more before I go ahead and hop off here. Are we going Sutton or Ladd and half PPR? I'll be going Sutton. Great matchup against the Cincinnati Bengals. That's a spot where we're starting Cortland Sutton. They're going to put up so many yards. This defense is absolutely atrocious. Shout out to everybody hopping in this stream, though. I absolutely appreciate you guys spending time in here with me. I will be live every single Thursday answering your start sit questions, doing this every week for the rest of the season. We also have Sam, the CEO of Walter Picks himself, coming in every Sunday, doing his Sunday morning live streams where he reviews every single game. And Seth as well on Wednesdays. Shout out to everybody hopping in this live stream. You are amazing people. I love talking to you guys, answering your start sit questions. Keep doing your thing, being amazing people. I will see you guys in the next live stream and possibly YouTube video coming very soon.